Hey guys, it's Cass, and today's going to be sort of a more serious video. I am going to talk about my experiences with anxiety and depression and just the experiences I've had so far with it. And I'm going to talk about some things that have been bugging me because I need to get off my chest, which is what I created this channel for and why I've been filming videos. So I wrote down some stuff that I want to talk about, and I've got water here. So I figured I've got a different setup today. I got a different setup today because I thought that we would do a different setup for like a chit-chatty video. So I'm going to see if I can not shake the camera. First, I want to talk about my experiences with anxiety and depression, because I know that a lot of you out there are dealing with the same thing, and this is a place that I feel a lot of people come to get away from that, because I know I sure do. I come to YouTube to try and escape my problems, and it works for a little while, and it works. So I feel that this can be a nice little corner of YouTube where we can just talk about it and get through it and just like find solace, I hope I'm using that word right, or peace in ourselves. This sounds so hippy-dippy, but I hope that we can find some peace by being here and talking about it and relating to each other. So I went undiagnosed with depression and anxiety for a while, and it only came to a head in 2016. I'm gonna take a drink of water now. My throat has been feeling ticklish and dry because allergies. Yay! If I'm moving really slow and talking really slow and being non-animated, it's because I don't want to shake the camera and it's still shaking. So yay! But it came to a head last year when I met this boy. I'm going to call him Cecil. I moved the Christmas lights. I have my Christmas lights on today so we can have this calm ambient lighting. So I met this Cecil during my first year of high school and my first year of school ever. I was homeschooled for my whole life up until 9th grade, which was last year. I'm a sophomore now. So I met this Cecil, and I thought that he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He was nice, he was funny, and he seemed like a great guy. And he asked for my number. And me sort of like wanting to be his friend, I said sure, and I gave him my number. And we would text back and forth while like on the car ride home, when we were going to bed, and everybody thought that we were dating. And I grew to like him, and I wished that we were dating. So whenever anybody would ask, he would kind of just get this blank stare like, and I would be like, boy, I wish we were dating. And then, let's see. So, around Valentine's Day, now my birthday is in February, so Valentine's Day is just after my birthday. Those of you who know me personally and are subscribed to my channel, you know when my birthday is. And it's coming up. So, oh, popping my knuckles. It doesn't lead to arthritis, don't worry. I've looked it up, done extensive research. It doesn't ruin your hands or anywhere where you pop it. So, around Valentine's Day, I started having these panic attacks. I keep shaking the camera. I started having these panic attacks, and they were so bad. And that was probably like the anxiety coming through. And he would be there, he would comfort me. My eyes watering. I'm not crying, my eyes just watering. He would comfort me, he would be so sweet. This one time I had a really bad panic attack, and he was already outside of the Spanish classroom. As I was saying, my camera just cut me off and I spent 2 hours trying to download the new iOS update. But he was outside the Spanish classroom because we were in 8th period Spanish. And he had a really bad headache, and I had a panic attack earlier that day, and I felt like murdering someone. So my best friend, one of my best friends, I'm going to call her Amanda. She was like, teacher, I'm shaking the camera. This girl needs to leave the room because she's going to murder somebody if she doesn't leave, because that class was so annoying. So I left the room, and he was out there, and we sat together, and I like cried into his shoulder, and we just talked about life, and we got to know each other. And I had goop in my shoe, and it was so weird. We played with the goop in my shoe, and I was like taunting him with it or something. It was really fun. But he was so sweet, and he would let me like play with his hair. He would play with my hair. I've wrote a whole story about it. I'll like add my Wattpad into like the end credits of the video, so you can go find it. And yeah, the story's called Insane. It's not finished yet. I'm still working on it, but I've written about things about him in there. That made no sense, but yeah. So let me see what I want to talk about. So yeah, around Valentine's Day, he just like ignored me for like 2 months. He just started ignoring me, and I found out later on that his grandfather had died and his great aunt had died, and he was like in mourning. But the least you can do is tell me, hey, I can't talk right now, and stuff like that. Now I was like obsessive, and I would like try to talk to him all the time, and I would be like, hey, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? It was crazy. And I see now that that was not okay, so I'm not like that anymore. I've changed my ways. But all that happened, and I felt so down on myself. I had really low self-esteem already, but this just made it plummet. Like, here's the scale of highest to lowest. I was down here, like way past the lowest point. It was bad, and I was having really bad thoughts. I was really sad, and it was bad. So then in April, I like texted him, and I was like, hey, are we cool? Like, are we still friends? And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I told him that I liked him. And let's backtrack a little bit back to February. Valentine's Day, I asked him to be my Valentine, and he said yes. And the next day, Valentine's Day, he didn't show up to school. So that made me feel great. But in April, I told him that I liked him, and he was like, hey, I like you too. And after that, he would call me like love and all these sweet, cute pet names, and I felt so good about myself. Like, I had approval. Yeah. Yeah. And but he was messing with my head, and it was bad. Like, he wouldn't like tell me bad things about myself, but I don't know, he would tell me that like he didn't like my friends. I guess he was trying to distance me from people, but it wasn't working because I was loyal to my friends. And then I got so sad. I was texting people how sad I was, and it got to the point where I just couldn't handle it anymore, and my mom took my phone and she looked through it and she saw all these sad messages, and he was telling me some very nasty things. That was another way he was messing with my head. Like, nasty things. And she saw all those, and she brought me out onto the front porch with my dad, and this was on Easter Sunday, and to this day it's still like the worst Easter I've ever had. And she was like, "What is all of this? Like, are you okay?" And they found a psychiatric hospital for me to go to, and they almost sent me there, but then they were like, "Oh, maybe she's not ready to go there." But then, like, later that month, I decided that I needed to go because I felt so sad and bad about myself. So I went there, and I might make a separate video about this some other time, like my hospital experiences. I have like a hiccup waiting to come up. But so yeah, that happened, but hey, I got through it. But recently, something has come up, and it's been happening again. Like, there's this guy, I'm gonna call him Roger, and he's funny, he's tall, he's a junior, and it's like the same thing. He's sweet, but my other friend liked him, and he had some issues going on, and I was like, I don't like him, and then I started to like him, and I felt like I shouldn't let myself like him, because the last time I liked a boy, like really liked him, it ended up with me going to the hospital, and it was bad, all this stuff. So I like told myself not to like him, but I ended up liking him, and I just, all this stuff, and up until last Friday, I liked him, and then last Friday, found out that he likes my best friend, Amanda. I'm not going to use that name. Taylor. He likes my best friend, Taylor. One of my best friends. There's Alex and there's Taylor. He likes Taylor. And I felt so crushed. Like, the day that I found out, I wasn't crying or anything. I kind of found it funny. I was like, okay. And then the next day, I found out Thursday. And then Friday, I had to go to class. I have 2 classes with him, and I have to see him in the hallway. I have to sit next to him. And I went there. He didn't look at me. He didn't talk to me. And he followed Taylor around like a dog in a bone, or puppy in a pork chop. And I got so just infuriated with him. I was so angry that I just broke down crying. I had to go to the nurse so I could cry in there. And I spent like the whole class period in there crying. And I went to the next class period, and my friends, like, they comforted me. I have the best friends. And it hurt. It really hurt. So yeah, all that went down. And I didn't think anything bad about myself, honestly, I didn't. And this week, we've had a couple snow days. Well, not snow days, more like ice days. And sorry, I keep swallowing because my throat is so dry and sore and it hurts. I think I might be getting sick, but I hope that I'm not, because I can't miss any more school days. So all that happened, and still he hasn't looked at me, he hasn't talked to me. I messaged him apologizing if I hurt him or anything and hoping that we could still be friends, and he said, yeah, we're still friends. Friends would notice if their friends were upset or frustrated. So I am just angry with him, and more than that, I pity him. I pity that he can't notice that he's lost a friend, that he can't notice that his friend is angry. Friend. And I'm just so mad at him. And this video is going to be really, really long. So I'm just going to cut it off now. And I'll make a part 2 to this. So this is part 1. I'll make a part 2. So I'm going to film that now, today. But I'm going to see if I can put this video up. And then I'll post the next one tomorrow. If you guys would like that. I know I only have like 16 subscribers, but hey, it's better than none. So, I'll see you guys later, tomorrow, whenever. And if I don't upload tomorrow, that's because I've been busy. I'm actually going to a funeral tomorrow for a family member, and I'm really gonna miss him. So wish me luck tomorrow. I hope that, I mean, it's natural to cry at a funeral, but I honestly hope I don't, because it's just embarrassing and I'm an ugly crier. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.